Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Beautiful Beings, foreign movie that is nominated for the Academy Awards. Oh, it's from Iceland. Iceland. I was trying to figure out what country it was from. All right, smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 10, available at Amazon.com. So it's about a group of boys and their friends. Not sure. I think one of them's gay. One of them gets beat up. Or it's about 3 guys, and they befriend a kid who I guess got beat up. And they're kind of crazy. And they befriend him. And then, I don't know, another guy has a bad stepdad. It's like one of these coming-of-age movies, but it's very serious. So, I'm not sure what the hell's going on. Other than it talks about youth, and there's a guy who gets kissed, and this guy has problems. This is the stepfather. He's violent, probably a drunk or whatever. Beautiful Beings, it's called. Coming soon. That's about it. All right, so it's Oscar bait, clearly. Seems to be well shot, well acted. Seems to be a lot of drama going on. Kind of hard to parse who everybody is and what their status is in this trailer. It's just a lot of violin music and images and random lines seemingly from the movie. It's very much an indie movie, like trailer. You know, it just kind of glances at the bigger themes here and the subtext, and it's very beautiful in the imagery and the violin music, and then it's over. I think it's a coming-of-age movie. Is it going to be good? I don't think so. It looks boring to me. It looks like one of those movies that'll be very uneven. It'll be very slice of life. It'll be probably hard for American audiences to relate to because it is in Icelandic. So you're going to have to read the subtitles. It's not like, you know, it's probably got a lot of drama in it. I'm sure one of the characters dies. I'm sure one of the characters has a confrontation. I'm sure there's some change here. I don't know. It looks boring to me. It looks really boring. It looks like one of those movies. It'll be like over dramatic life. And maybe it'll be great. I don't know. I think 2 of the boys are gay. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm not sure what the focus of the whole thing is. Doesn't seem to be on the stepdad. Although that could be part of the focus. There's a scene where they get a gun. So it's kind of low stakes. That's the upshot. The upshot is it's low stakes. It's dramatic. It may explore some new things. Or it may just be a rambling movie that kind of just starts and you learn about all these characters and then it just kind of ends. That's what it kind of feels like. In that respect, it feels like one of those movies they made in the 70s that kind of just went nowhere. Kind of just starts and then it kind of just ends. And then you're supposed to figure it out yourself. I tend not to like those movies, but some people like them. More art house aficionados. People have seen too many movies will see a movie like this and then sometimes really drill down into all the symbolism. And maybe there is some, or maybe it's just a bunch of random events that you're expected to draw from on your own. And then everybody draws something different, and therefore it's a great movie. It's a great piece of art. It's definitely going for, this is an art piece. So, you know, it doesn't look fun. I mean, parts of it look fun, maybe, because the kids are in high school, and that part is usually a little fun. You know, it's going to be shenanigans. The thing that would appeal to me is, I don't know much about Iceland, so I would watch it and say, oh, this is what growing up in Iceland's like. Kind of cool. Oh, is that the kind of school they have? Is this, you know, when do they leave for the day? See, like, I don't know. Maybe these 2 guys are gay. They've got the body language of a couple. One of them smoking. Is that still a thing in Iceland? Does this take place in the modern day? Kind of hard to tell because it's in Iceland. I'm not seeing any smartphones, so maybe it takes place in the past. Here's a bully. I don't know. The kid's talking about his dreams. From the director of Heartstone. I could not pronounce that name. Gudmunda Anna Gudmundsson. Gudmunda Anna Gudmundsson. Did I get that right? That's a cool name. I'll give you that. It's a name he should be Thor's bodyguard. So, and then this is coming of age stuff. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. Would I watch this movie? I'd probably watch at least part of it. It might get so boring for me that I would just tune out. I don't know. I would definitely not go to the theaters for this unless I was with my movie coffee clutch. My movie guys. They might want to go see this movie, maybe. There's a whole list of movies they like to see, but it could end up on the list, and I heard this is great. I got nominated for an Oscar. We all go see it, and then we go out for coffee afterwards and pick apart the movie. I mean, I don't think it'll be bad. I don't think it's bad. So let me break it down to 3 acts as best I can figure out from this trailer, which is very esoteric. So you got 3 lads and they're friends and they hang out. And then one day, his kid gets beat up. And one woman is one of the kids is being raised by a single mom. And she hears about it or watches it on the news. And he hears about it. Next day at school, they see the kid who got beaten up. And for some reason, they put this like face mask on him. I guess it's to keep his nose in place since he got smashed in the face. And they feel bad for him. And they go over to him and they say, "Hey, you're the kid who got beat up, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they befriend him, which is kind of a nice thing, I think, if that's the way it goes down. Hopefully they're not the ones that beat him up. Anyhow, they befriend him. And then after that, kind of muddied. I don't know. Maybe it's about how their friendship blossoms and they're kind of knuckleheads. They kind of trash his room. I think this is the kid who got beat up, so maybe they help him, live life a little bit. But one of them has a terrible stepdad. That's probably the climax of the movie. He decides he's going to kill his stepdad. Maybe the other knuckleheads help him get a gun, or maybe they tell him to do it or tell him not to do it, but they can't stop him. And then he confronts usually in this kind of movie, no one gets shot. Like, he confronts his stepdad, but like the stepdad slaps the gun away and then beats him up again and maybe kills him. I mean, a lot of these movies end very sadly because it's an indie movie and it's kind of easier to end on a sad note because, you can imagine a scene where he slaps the gun away and just strangles the kid, ends up going back to jail, he's dead, but that's easier to shoot than him blowing a hole through his chest. Or not, I don't know. It's made in Iceland. I'm not sure how they finance the movies over there. It looks very low key. And then the climax is, I don't know, some of the kids survive and they go on to watch the sunset, and it's kind of a metaphor for their friendship. And there's always a metaphor in the coming of age movies, like the escalator in Superbad, that kind of thing, where it's like they're being separated not just by the escalator but by the choices they're making in life. In this, something similar, but in an Icelandic way, would be my take. So I might check this out if it ends up on one of the streaming services I have access to. I wouldn't go out of my way. If you're a total movie head, yeah, this will be a movie. This is Oscar bait. And again, I would watch it probably just to see, what's Iceland like? I don't know. I don't want to see a documentary. I would want to see something like this, where get a sense of how people live their lives, at least from a creative's perspective, even though that, and then it's entertaining too, as opposed to a documentary, which probably wouldn't do the same thing. I think movies like this betray more about a culture than a straight up documentary. That's just my vibe. So, Beautiful Beings, coming to Oscars near you. Ooh, do we have yes, let's read the synopsis, see if I got any of that right. Starring, boy, I cannot pronounce those names, and the director, whose name I already did. Synopsis: Addie, a boy raised by a clairvoyant mother, decides to adopt a bullied misfit into his gang of outsiders. Left to their own devices, the boys explore aggression and violence, but also learn about loyalty and love. As the group's behavior escalates towards life-threatening situations, Addie begins to experience a series of dreamlike visions. Can his newfound intuition guide him and his friends back to safer path, or will they dive irrevocably into further violence? So interesting. Maybe they were the one to beat him up and they feel bad and that's why they befriend him? Or maybe not. Maybe they're just like a gang. I don't know what it's like to grow up in Iceland. Well, that synopsis certainly is interesting. I mean, the clairvoyant part. Now I'm kind of into it. Now I'm a little more won over by that. I don't like the cut of the trailer, though. It's a little too, I don't know, it's a little too much violin music. It makes it boring. It makes it feel like it's a different kind of movie. When you're talking about gang violence and kids, I think you needed, like, yeah, punk music or something like that. Guitar music. Kicking in the door or whatever. There's a scene where they kick in a bedroom door. This was my gang. Like that kind of uplifting sort of thing. More fun. Looks like he's having fun. Anyhow, that's it from me, Joni D, and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more bass takes. I'm going to have to put a bass take on YouTube today. I'm going to have to do the news blast on YouTube because I put a very spicy... I'm going to be putting a very spicy video on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble that has no way I can put here. All right, that's it for me. We'll see you in the next one.